Go deeper with Lobbing Scorchers. Scratch under the surface. Get down even dirtier than we already get. Become a YouTube member. Sometimes things just get a little too spicy, a little too weird, and a little too loose for the general public. And the people to see that are YouTube members. We're talking about exclusive bonus videos, the podcast after show, exclusive written content, and little bits and pieces of information before the unwashed masses know about it. As a member, you not only get access to all of this amazing content, you get a badge next to your name and a slew of amazing emotes to use, not only in our live stream chat, but also in our comment section. And yes, we do have an emote for Jesus Ferreira, Go Snack, and Paul Rothrock. This is the best way to help keep us independent and keep us building out this crazy YouTube brand that we call Lobbing Scorchers. Hit the join button down below or hit the link in the top of our description if you're on mobile to join the ranks and become a Lobbing Scorchers YouTube member.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to tonight's post-match live. The Seattle Sounders went down to Fort Lauderdale for a rematch with Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, and the Barca boys, and they just took a 3-1 L. Not the greatest bounce back from the end of that LA Galaxy game. You've now got you've got dropped points at the end of a league match against the LA Galaxy, and a 3-1 L to Inter Miami. We're here to cope. We're here to rationalize. We've got the presser pulled up, and it looks like that's going to start shortly here. But I guess until then, Noah, how are you feeling, and why are you wearing that?
Leo Messi, I got a question for you. Will you join the Seattle Sounders? Would you be interested in joining the Seattle Sounders? Obviously I'm wearing my club's colors with this very official quality Inter Miami kit.
Yeah, this is already getting well received.
Yeah, this is really how I feel about it. It's infecting me. Get it off. It won't actually rip. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, wearing the one that we got to try and trade in for a Paul Rothrock jersey. That's
look at this.
That's nasty.
I just
work.
traded
There
it.
you go. There you go. I think you made it further than the last time that you did this bit. So
it wasn't even that good of a bit this time. So
I mean, it wasn't that good of a game.
Jersey would rip a little easier.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to be able to do the
I should have cut
maneuver with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we should probably wait until the presser is over to dive into our full takeaways. But just your initial mood, vibe. How are you feeling after? We haven't done a lot of L shows lately. Really, the only L show we've done since Club World Cup was the Minnesota game, and so it's kind of not been familiar territory lately. How are you taking it? How are you holding up?
It was definitely the worst Sounders match that I've watched this season. It looked like a team.
Disagree. San Diego away, or even St. Louis away, I would put above that. They at least scored a goal in this game. They at least scored a goal in this game and had points of the game where they were playing okay. Those games were way worse.
I think it was just the fact that you came into this game kind of knowing and hoping that they wouldn't be asleep at the wheel, and yet that's kind of what felt like happened just in the form that they've been in. Like that San Diego game, I don't know, there was just so many individually awful performances. I guess I would group it with those two games.
It's in that
category of if you want to drop your hand into the bucket and pull out one of those games and say it's the worst, I'm cool with any of those.
You don't want to, that's not the company that you want to be keeping.
And I also thought, honestly, Brian Schmetzer.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the lineup. We're gonna talk about the lineup, and we're gonna talk about the concessions, and we're gonna get into all of it. I do want to hear what Schmetz has to say about that. But,
we'll also get Jordan Morris and Obed Vargas.
Oh, is that who's talking?
Who will be? Yeah.
Sick. All right, that's a pretty good post game.
They didn't roll out Christian.
Yeah, they didn't roll out Christian. I guess my initial thoughts on the lineup were. I supported most all of the rotation that was done, but we've talked ad nauseum on this show this year about the double pivot if it's playing too many minutes, if it's going to catch up to them, if they are at risk of like running these guys into the ground. And honestly, I've kind of come off that, or at least feeling that passionate about it, because the way I see it is if you're playing at the level that they've been playing at since Club World Cup and you're still taking the results and no one's level is dropping off, then far be it for me to get too bent out of shape out of rotation that's like would be designed to prevent a drop in form that isn't happening. However, in this specific situation, I think it has to be talked about again because if you rotated the lineup as much as you did anyway, then this would have been a good opportunity to give Christian specifically, I think, a rest. And like Snyder B, I know it's kind of maybe a tough mental hurdle to get over of like starting Snyder B on the road against Messi and the Barca boys, but he subbed on and he looked great. He had one bad giveaway. But other than that, I thought Snyder B was looking really good out there. So like that's where I'm like, man, just start him from the beginning, you know? Like that was the one thing where I really that I didn't like about the lineup. And I think that kind of got underscored by Christian had, I think, 5 giveaways in this game.
Oh, it was bad.
A lot of those
bad.
Yeah, and these are like giveaways that he never makes unless he's fatigued. Like the only time we see him make mistakes like that is when he's fatigued. So
well, it was interesting.
That's my main quibble with the lineup. Did you have any other?
No, I'm very much in agreement with that, and I posted on Blue Sky, said Christian Roldan looks like what a USMNT fan says Christian Roldan plays like. Like he was playing like a USMNT crash out bot says that he plays like. Like it was bad. Like it was dangerous giveaways and just bad.
The giveaway that led to the first goal, and really, we shouldn't just single him out because there were so many bad giveaways from so many different guys.
I thought
again, that's like
he had a really bad first half. I thought Nuhu had a really bad game. I thought Yamar had a pretty bad game. I thought KKR had a really bad first half. I thought KKR had probably his worst game I've seen. Rothrock wasn't playing well. Rothrock's giveaway led to that second goal. The whole squad looked just not good tonight. It looked like a squad who was playing on short rest with heavy legs, who had just played this team and on a shit pitch, thousands and thousands of miles away from home, and the other team was out for blood and had Leo Messi. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
like,
and which
that's what it looked like.
That in isolation, you know, the final result of the game for me, it's like whatever. I had a bad feeling before this game started. Like I was just feeling like this is lining up to be an L. So from that standpoint, like it's not shocking, and I think that it's one of those results that does happen over the course of an MLS season to pretty much every team. But what I am concerned about coming off this game is just, you know, we've talked about this notion of the Leagues Cup hangover, or really just like any hangover when you're coming off a tournament of that high intensity where you make a super deep run, and in this case win it. It's not like always a given that you're going to be able to maintain the requisite intensity and energy game in, game out. I thought in the first half they looked like a team that was not playing really anywhere near the energy and intensity we've seen in all of these games pretty much since
I was
World
yelling
Cup.
at the TV, Ari. I was yelling at the TV, press, press, press. I felt like I was Brian Schmetzer out there. Like it was insane. What were they doing? Especially in that second half. It was like Jordan Morris was walking the entire time. Sir, I love you. You're not Messi. You got to have a little hustle.
I mean, like in these circumstances on a road game, cross-country road trip, if you're not like busting at fully breakneck 110% intensity for all 90 minutes, that is one thing. But I think the totality of kind of how flat they looked in the first half, how that Galaxy game ended, it has me like preliminarily concerned that a hangover situation that we've been worried about might be taking place. Like it's giving me 2022 vibes, and that was the performance of a team that is being afflicted by that type of thing. To me, just the lack of energy, of intensity, and the kind of the giveaways that are uncharacteristic of this team, and just that's like stuff that happens when your head's just like not fully in the game. So I'm gonna wait and see a few more games before I declare them hungover.
Mm-hmm.
But I am that like that is if I have
They're
a
on hangover
number,
watch, Ari.
they're on hangover watch. If I have a number one concern coming off of this game is that they looked a little hungover. They looked a little hungover at the end of the Galaxy game. So
Hangover watch brought
that's
to you
gonna have to be.
by who could be a good sponsor for that? Like Liquid IV. They should hit us up.
Yeah, exactly. Hangover Watch. We from the creators of Fraud Watch, we now
Yep.
have Hangover
Yep.
Watch. Seattle Sounders are on Hangover Watch, I think officially, and we'll see. Like this was always. I know it might not have felt like it because of what Seattle just did to this team in the League's Cup final. This was always going to be one of the highest degree of difficulty games of the year, no matter what. Like I know how thin their bench was. They had a bunch of guys suspended and stuff. I mean, you're still playing. I mean, these guys are some of the literal greatest players of all time at their respective positions. And Lionel Messi is literally the greatest player of all time. And you're doing a cross country road trip. So it was always going to be a tall order.
Thank you both very much for your time. We'll get going immediately if that's all right with you guys. We're going to start with Jeremiah Oshan.
Yeah, I guess for Obed, what would you say the biggest difference in this game was as opposed to the last time you guys played them?
The biggest difference, I think. I mean, we gave away 2 goals early in the game, and a team with that quality is gonna punish you, and then you're going against the current the rest of the game, and it's tough. And it's tough playing away from home, especially when you give easy goals away. But it's something we have to learn from and move on.
All right, next question. We'll go to Jada Evans. Jada, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thanks. But also, how much do you feel that like change in lineup, things like that factored into what you guys weren't able to do tonight?
No, I don't think it was because of a lineup change or anything. Like I said, everyone this year has chipped in. One of the strengths of our team is that we have a very deep squad. We have guys that will come in and do the job, and so whatever lineup coach decides to put out should be ready for the game. And I think that has been true for most of the season.
And it looked the camera showed you and Messi having a long conversation going into the half. Can you share anything about what was said?
I mean, he was talking about the last game, but all I can say is, whatever is said between players stays on the field, and everything was positive.
All right, next question. We'll go to George. You should be able to ask your question. Go for it, George.
Hey, Obed, I wanted to know if scoring more goals is something that you want to do more as part of your game now that you scored 1 goal, and also what restaurant are you going to take the guy next to you to thank him for his assist? And Jordan, wanted to know how you are feeling physically, and what do you think you need to do to get into the World Cup next year?
Yeah, I think who doesn't want to score more goals? I think everyone wants to score goals. It definitely was a goal in going into the season. I still think there's more in me, more goals out of me. And I think in that play, Jordan did really well to sneak the ball behind the defender and leave me basically one-on-one with the goalie.
I'm feeling good. Obviously, it's been a rough season for me personally with all these injuries, but it's great to be back on the field. The shoulder feels good. The guys, the support staff here has done a great job getting me fit and ready to go. Obviously, still need to get the sharpness up, get the game fitness up. It's been a long time. Obviously, a lot of stopping and starting this year. So I need to kind of get that sharpness back. A lot of that comes with training, but progressing from the last game to this game, I felt better, felt more confident. So just got to keep going with that and kind of build into the most important time of the year with playoffs coming. And then, yeah, for me personally, obviously it's a goal to try to get back with the national team. part of the reason that this kind of year was so tough mentally is I thought maybe if I kept playing like I did last year, potentially that chance would have been there for me, and would have tried to prove myself to the new coaching staff. But all I can do is go out, work hard, try to do my best in the remaining games this year. And if something happens and I get that opportunity, that's amazing. But my focus is obviously here in Seattle and helping the team win another trophy this year.
All right, Jeremiah, we'll go back to you.
Yeah, one for Jordan. What do you think you guys have to do to keep this? You guys have been on such a good run since the Club World Cup. This is the first time you guys have gone 2 straight without a win since then. Is there any? I mean, what does this do in terms of making sure you guys get back on the right track against Austin? And how do you kind of treat this next week where you're only going to have really one real training session? I think.
Yeah, I think it resets the focus a little bit. Like you said, I haven't been playing, but the team has done so well since the Club World Cup. I think they said it's the second loss since the Club World Cup, and so we felt like we gave the game away against LA, so we kind of put that behind us. This is always going to be a tough place to come play, like Owen said, when they score two goals early and traveling across the country and playing in the heat. Obviously, no excuses, but it's always going to be tough. You saw when they came to us, it's hard to play on the road. So we knew this game was going to be tough. We gotta learn from it and push past it. But I think going into the playoffs, it's good to have moments like this where you kind of have to reset your focus and understand that we have really challenging games coming up away in Austin, Vancouver at home, who's flying, Portland at home. Really important games coming up to try to obviously secure, top 4 and host those playoff games because we know how important that is. But I think having a moment like this to learn from, a good reset moment, is going to be good for the group.
And then Obed, real fast, what's been the communication with in terms of when you're supposed to report for U20s?
Yeah, I think I'll leave that up to Schmetzer to say. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say.
Fair enough.
All right, we'll go over to Felipe Makeda. Felipe, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Alex. Mi pregunta es para Obed Vargas. Obed, ha sido una temporada larga, muchos encuentros se han jugado, desde luego tuvieron descanso, pero ¿cómo ves tú o tú personalmente, físicamente, cómo te sientes después de la final de la liga, el descanso contra LA Galaxy? Ahora Jordan acaba de decir que jugaron en la humedad y ahora van a ir a jugar en el calor. ¿Crees que físicamente les va a alcanzar para tener un buen cierre de temporada?
Bueno, yo me siento bien. He jugado muchos partidos, es cierto. Después de la final también fui con la selección. He intentado ser lo más eficiente con mi recuperación, con mi descanso, y creo que me estoy sintiendo bien y tengo que hacer lo necesario para recuperarme para el próximo partido. Pero como lo dije hace un ratito, creo que la fortaleza de este equipo ha sido que cuando un jugador sale del 11 entra otro y hace el mismo trabajo o mejor. Y creo que desde el Mundial de Clubes hemos venido haciendo eso. Hemos tenido muchas lesiones, muchos jugadores que se han lastimado y han llegado otros y los han suplido. Entonces yo creo que esa es la fortaleza del equipo y si podemos seguir haciendo eso, vamos a estar bien para el cierre de la temporada.
Gracias.
Jada, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, just either one of y'all, just the first trip down to that stadium. What was that? What was it like? I think Jordan talked a little bit about it, but I mean, what was the experience like there?
Yeah, it was obviously not great with the result, but
yeah,
it's like you said, it's a tough place to come play. The excitement and the fanfare obviously around Messi and the players they have, the energy's high at the stadium. The fans are into it. You can feel that when he's on the ball and stuff like that. So they push that team forward. Yeah, again, no excuses. But it's a hot, humid place to come play, and it's hard to win on the road in MLS, especially kind of like Owen said when we start the game, kind of how we did. So it's always hard to chase from behind. The longer that game goes 0-0, I think it's better for us. So again, something we can learn from. But like I said, it's going to be a good experience for us moving forward. these are the type of games we're going to see in the playoffs. So we got to be ready to perform.
All right, guys. Thank you both very much for your time. We're going to leave it there. Safe travels home.
Thank you.
For media members on the call, head coach Brian Schmetzer is next. Please go
Vargas.
ahead and hit that raise hand function button again for us if you are interested
On the
in
screen.
asking him a question. We'll get going.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
Jordan called it a reset moment. What do you think of that? Hopefully that's what it turns out to be. I think that's sort of how Paul Rothrock framed it after that San Diego debacle earlier this year. He had a similar sentiment. So I like that spin. Reset moment. Let's reset. Everyone just recalibrate. I was ready to cook there, but
Sorry.
Hang on, Alex. I'm just rearranging some chairs.
Understood. Would you like an opener this evening?
No.
All right.
Back to questions.
We'll go straight to it. Jada, why don't you lead off for us?
Thanks. Brian, this is the second last from the Club World Cup. Do you feel that the team has taken a step back at all, from that bite that you guys had earlier before the break and after the Leagues Cup?
If you only lose 2 out of whatever it is, 16 games, I believe, something like that, 16, 17. If you only lose 2, that's pretty good, Jada. So, look, this was going to be a hard place to play, even with what happened, a couple weeks ago up at our place. They were obviously up for the game. But yeah, at the end of the day, still proud of the team. They've, competed. They didn't quit. They got a goal in the second half, had some half looks, half chances. So, no, I don't think it's a step back. I just think this was going to be a tough game, as soon as we saw it on the schedule earlier this year.
All right, next question will go over to Jeremiah.
You made a few changes in this game. What did you, though, think of the players who were playing on a short rest? Were you satisfied? You pulled some of them early. I assume that was somewhat planned, but what did you make of the performance of the guys who were playing on short rest, I guess?
Who in particular?
Christian in particular looked like he was a little off from his normal level.
Anybody else?
Yamar didn't look necessarily great either. There was a few guys who in the first half it looked like some guys were looking a little slow and not up to their normal play.
Well, because of the dropping of a couple of points against the Galaxy, we need to take a little bit of a calculated risk and kind of mix the group maybe a little bit differently than I would have. Look, Christian, everybody's going to say, some tough giveaways, and certainly the first goal came from, Christian. But again, this is a team sport, and we weren't in our structure. Knew who's too wide. We didn't have anybody really in the right pocket. We were kind of saying, well, at some point, this one's going to be here and higher up the field. Another guy's going to rotate in there. So I think I can own some of that, as far as the overall tactics and getting the guys in the right spots to try and get some more possession. That's what we needed in the first half. But, look, I'm not going to shy away from it. Christian, wasn't his best match. So tried to get him off. There were some, again, calculated 45-45s, Ymar and Jackson, Christian and his brother, but I elected to keep Christian in at 2-0 just for a few more minutes to see if we couldn't get the next goal. So lots of things go into that planning, Jeremiah. And then, the game dictates what you're going to do with some of those substitutions as well.
All right, George, over to you next.
Coach, a lot is talked about in MLS about playing surface, turfers versus grass. It seemed from the TV that the playing surface was not that good. What was your take on it?
It's fine. It's Bermuda grass, but it rained heavily in the afternoon. It looks like that. guys, it's different for us, just like, Miami lost 2 games, their last 2 games on turf. I'm sure what you're used to. It takes a little bit to adjust and adapt, but the playing surface was fine.
All right, Jay, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah. Well, first, Obed had said to, I guess, maybe talk to you as far as when he's gonna leave for the U23s. Is there something that you can share there?
Well, the official list hasn't come out from the Mexican Federation, so I can't comment on that until it's out there officially. So
If he were, well, okay, fine. I'll leave that at that. And then also, like you said, with the different, how much do you factor in though the different ways the lineup had to change and what you were able to or weren't able to accomplish today? Like how much of a factor?
I just think in the first half we were a little too rushed. We had 2 high energy guys on the right hand side in Paul and Kalani. We had a guy, Georgie, who loves to run at people. And then, Saze earned this chance to see again against a good opponent to see if he could come back with another good performance. But they're all young and they need a little bit more seasoning. And in some of those moments when we needed to be calmer with the ball, extend our possessions a little bit more in that first half, take some of the sting out of the game, it just didn't manifest itself like that. So, when we were able to get a hold of the game, obviously the score line dictated, them sitting back a little bit and us having more possession of the ball. But, that's the type of game you have to play against Miami. And we weren't able to accomplish that in the first half.
And then, did you see any spillover or anything like that from the brawl or the way that things ended in Miami? Was that a topic or at all or broached at all from them?
No. I think I said this interiorly. I don't know if I said it exteriorly, but Jorge Mas came from down the sideline to personally congratulate me because he didn't see me after the game. Class individual, class act. Javier Mascherano, we had pleasant words before and after the game. It's all done and dusted. I think that was just one moment. And, the first tackle that DePaul put on Obed, that was the message that they were sending. But Obed played through it. And you saw Obed, he's such a talented kid. He was running past some of their players. So, they tried to send the message, but Obed didn't take the bait.
All right, Felipe, over to you, please.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, how can you assess the performance of Kalani Kosser in today's game?
He was okay in moments. I mean, look, he's got, again, a ton of energy. He scored some big goals for us. But in these bigger games, his experience level and thinking, he needs to, do a little bit better there. But overall, he, did the best he could and, never quit, never gave up. So he was fine.
All right, Jeremiah, did you have a follow-up still?
Yeah. How would you assess Steph's performance in this game?
It's fine. I mean, he made some saves. He kept us in it because it could have been 5 or 6. But, the goals that we gave up, Jeremiah, they're tough. I mean, that first ball that Christian gives away is 35 yards from goal, and Alba's coming in one-on-one. The next goal to give away out by the touchline, and Messi's in at the back post. I can't fault him for that. And then, look, the corner kick, we're down a guy. I mean, Kim Ki-hee was off the field. And normally Kim Ki-hee and Jackson, they're in those spots. And so we were short there. So, it was a little bit of a rough game for the entire squad. But Steph came out and made some saves. And, look, even the angle he took for Alba's first goal, he had the proper angle and the ball hit his foot, but it just went in. Sometimes goalkeepers are going to make that foot save.
All right, George, why don't you have the last one?
Coach, looking at the next game, can you share with us where you're thinking about in terms of lineup? Are you going to rotate? Are you going to go back to your normal starting 11?
There's no normal starting 11 right now. We're going to put the best team out there possible to beat Austin. And I have a very deep squad. I'm very happy with the team. We will come back. It's a little bit of adversity, but we're going to come back and have a strong performance against Austin, and then hopefully finish the year out with some good performances getting ready for the playoffs.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time. I'll let you go. Safe travels home.
What'd you think of he said the lineup decisions were a calculated risk because of what happened in the LA game, I think. Isn't that what he said? Like that because they dropped points in that game, they felt like they had to go for it a little more in this game. So they took a calculated risk, played some guys. I imagine Christian is in that category of a guy who might have been rotated out. I feel like he should. I mean, hindsight's 2020. I feel like Christian should have gotten a breather anyway. Like, it would have been Snyder Brunell starting on the road against Inter Miami and the Barca boys. Yeah, this game was going to be really tough anyway. Just let Snyder be cooked. That's the only issue I have. You're on mute.
Chat. I think it's hard. Just like the tech, I think this is a hard decision when you're Brian Schmetzer because you're in a position where you need to win points. You have LAFC on your ass with Hunmin Son. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's scary. That's
is.
scary. That's scary hours.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, you drop a result against the or you drop points against the Galaxy. You have to go on the hardest road trip of the year, hands down, praying to the Lord Almighty that you get 1 point out of that. I mean, you need as many points as you can get. And so I it's hard to blame him when it's so clear how important Christian is to this team. But also, like, from what I saw today, Obed played so much freer in the attack when Christian wasn't on the field. He seemed to take over Christian's position and really like dictate that tempo in the midfield a little bit more than he even does normally. Snyder Brunell, I thought, looked incredible. He had takeaways off Messi. He had takeaways off everyone. He looked confident. He looked like the only person on the field for the second half who really wanted to win that game. Maybe
I have no hesitation or anxiety about Snyder Brunell starting these games at all.
No.
I get that this was a uniquely challenging situation to throw a young player out there who has pretty much no experience into. And also we are Monday morning quarterbacking now that we know how the game went. So I acknowledge that. I just feel like with how the first half played out and how Christian looked in the first half and then how Snyder looked after he came on, which I thought if I was going to give anyone like a positive mark for their performance in this game, he would be in there. He would be in there. Obed in the second half would be in there. And what did you think of Georgie? Because I would put him in there, but some people sounds like would not.
I'm interested to hear the Georgie didn't play well skepticism. I don't think
it's an end product thing. Like everyone can see like the.
But also everyone else looked gassed. You had Osaze who just wasn't getting in the right positions all night. Jordan didn't even look like he could run, honestly. Like, I mean, he even alluded to it. He was like, my fitness isn't there yet. I think he played probably too long. Moose looked way more dangerous than either one of those two players. And I mean, there were multiple times where Georgie beats one guy, two guy, and then he picks his head up and there's no one to play to. So it's like, it's kind of hard to like get mad at the guy when there's no target guy in the box. And that even comes down to like Rothrock. I mean, Rothrock looked gassed, man. I mean, if you're going to compare Georgie to anyone, you've got to compare him to Rothrock, right? Both the wingers, obviously they bring different things, but they're both engines. Rothrock looked, was not a good game for him. It wasn't. And Georgie looked night and day better. And I think Rothrock has been playing a lot and it's just, yeah, like I don't know. Georgie was also getting back on defense. Georgie was, drawing fouls and aggravating, just absolutely owning Ian Frey the entire time. I don't know how you can.
He was the only one. He was the only one who was making stuff happen. I thought in the first half, and like it's fun to watch him. Like when he has a 1v1, it's just like over. Like he's getting around that guy. So yeah, no, I thought Georgie was good. I thought Snyder B was good. Obed obviously gets the goal. I guess I'll stay on the positive train a little bit.
Yeah.
The goal that Seattle did get, first of all, I guess it was good. I thought the response after 3-0, which you never want to have to respond from being down 3-0, but given that they did, I was more or less happy with the response in the sense that they got a goal back, and they were never like, I never felt like it was fully I felt like it was fully chalked after 3-0, but when they got one back with that much time left, I was like, you at least put yourself in a situation where if you get one more in this next period of time, then you like push for a potential point here even. So
I think
there was that. But like, I was gonna say real quick, like,
go for it.
The seeing Albert Rusnak hit Jordan Morris like with a through ball like that, and then have Jordan get an assist like to bring that goal back, that gave me a little juice. Like obviously I was in a pretty bad mood watching that game, but when they got that goal, I was like, oh hell yeah. Like it got me excited to like see Albert Rusnak and Jordan Morris back in the squad again, because they hadn't been on the field for that long, and they already combined like we saw them do last year. They got a goal out of it, and that kind of just reminded me, I was like, oh yeah, these guys are coming back, getting integrated, and we get to see what that looks like, which is exciting. So that's something.
No, I agree. I think that there's a lot to gain from that, and Jordan clearly brings something that no other player on this roster does. He's got that vision, he's got that touch. He can finish when he is in full fitness and form, and I'm like, I don't know, the amount of chances that were generated if you have a fully healthy Jordan Morris, I think that could have been a different result. Like, I don't want to, obviously you can say whatever you want and say whatever, but it's like you are genuinely more dangerous in situations like this, where you are kind of fatigued chasing a game when you have a striker like Jordan Morris, or even a striker like Moose. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to keep, pounding on Osaze, but it's like, he didn't have the best match. He was kind of
that one off the post though, that was tough.
Yeah, I mean,
if that goes in, that was even earlier in the first half, and that could have was that when they were down 2-0? Oh no, that they had just gone down 3-0, I think, when that happened. So that was.
I'm interested to hear about how you thought Ferreira played in this match, because I was a little bit frustrated. Not a little bit. I was pretty frustrated with him and his body language in the first half, but I thought that once he slotted over to the wing, he looked way better, and he helped to make that goal happen with that press on the wing. And then after we talk about this, I want to talk about the press, because it was fucking abysmal tonight.
I didn't think Ferreira was terrible, but he wasn't like the Ferreira, really, I don't think, that we saw in Leagues Cup. But I mean, I thought he was all right in the sense that I thought the offense played okay tonight, like for a road game like this, like not close to the level that we have been seeing, but there were some really good chances there. The one that Osaze smashed off the post, there was that one late that Moose put on target. I think there's a couple
Rothrock had one on target.
The Rothrock one, that's the one I was thinking of. So, and I thought Ferreira was part of that, but it was not to the level that he has been playing at.
I felt like he got in his head a little bit too in some moments in this game, especially with shots and whatnot. And the same with Jordan. Like, I thought Jordan should have ripped a couple of shots there instead.
That was the other one when he laid it off.
Like what?
And that was right after Obed scored, or pretty close to after Obed scored. So if you get one there, then it's like your
game's wide open.
What game's wide open? Yeah.
And so that leads me to what I felt like was the most disappointing for me was the press tonight, and just like it didn't. I understand it's short rest, and I'm sure that Schmetzer was like, "Listen, let's go like 85% tonight." You're also playing in 185% humidity in Brian said the grass is fine, but like the ball moves a lot slower. Everything slows down on that wet Bermuda grass. Like that's just tough. But oh my God. And that, like, from the 80th minute on, I'm like, why are you not pressing every single ball? This team will give you the ball. They will pass you the ball if you press them. You have 20 more minutes. You got 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. If you just press the shit out of them, you can force a goal. We see this all the time with Inter Miami. They don't have a defense. Ian Frey is not a defender. He's a traffic cone. Okay. So if you can get around him, you can score. And I just felt like the press was so not up to what we've seen. And I thought that was Ferreira. I thought that was Rothrock. I thought that was rolled on to a point. Like even when some people came on, like Jordan for sure, Albert 100%. The people who I would say did well is I thought Snyder was pressing really well. This is where I don't understand where people can hate on Georgie. I thought he had an incredible game, and I thought that he was locked the fuck in and was pushing every button that he could possibly push. Same with Obed. Yeah, I don't know. For me, that was uncharacteristic, and it's like, why in this match did we choose to, or maybe not choose to, but what happened? What was going on? I don't know if you noticed that.
I mean, the press definitely was not nearly effective tonight as it has been lately. I think there's probably fatigue probably does play into that. It is easy for us to sit here and say, why aren't you pressing in the 80th minute of a road match in Fort Lauderdale where it's probably 98 degrees?
What are we talking about?
But like, I mean, but also I think we've also gotten used to in Leagues Cup, they were pressing all out intensity 110% every minute of every game because they were in a tournament. When you're in the grind of the season, you can't really do that. You're probably not going to be able to be in the 80th minute of a game like this pressing as hard as you possibly can, like they have been for every game over the last few weeks.
But you have enough people on the bench to do that. They had a whole starting 11 on the bench to do that. I think that they should have done that. I hear what you're saying, and I agree that it's fatigue. But Albert Rusnak coming off the bench and not pressing or doing anything of that sort, listen, I love that guy. I love him so much, and I defend him against the laziness allegations all the time. But that he had kind of a lazy performance. Jordan Morris, same thing. I don't know. I understand that you're coming back from injury and you're gassed. But brother, you've got to put some pressure on the ball. You have to. Should we hit the super chats?
Yeah, hit the super chats.
Where's my mouse? First super chat here from Alex Manning. Annoying result, but unsurprising because of the travel and short rest. Time to reset and put in some good performances before the playoffs.
Reset. That was what Jordan said. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that sucks, but put it in the bin. Like,
you put it in the
beginning.
I have no problem coping and rationalizing by saying road games like this in MLS they're kind of part of the deal. And one thing that's been so sick about this team lately is they kind of haven't been as beholden to that as most MLS teams usually are. Like they've been able to show this crazy depth that allows them to maintain their level in adverse situations. But I can say throw this one in the bin. The thing that I think that the concerning thing, just as we sit here right now, is hangover watch. Like, will this fester and keep kind of dogging the league season and affect their ability to get a top 4 spot, which is what they need to do right now?
We ran a poll in the chat and I asked, are the Seattle Sounders hungover? 78% said yes, 21% said no. So, Brian Schmetzer, there's some locker room bulletin board material for you.
All right, what was the poll?
It was, are the Seattle Sounders hungover? 78% said yes, 21% said no. So,
it's
that game felt like it. But I think it's also...
It was giving me like, didn't it feel like the games after 2022?
Yeah.
Like, that was the vibe. That was the vibe.
Yeah, and I think what's true and what I think when we remove ourselves a couple days from this will be like, Yeah, that looked like a team that played a game, had like a half day of rest, and then immediately gone on a flight to fly to Miami and play a match. Like
Yeah.
that's just tough. That's just unlucky. It's
It
tough.
was never going to be as easy as the last time those two teams played might have. That was why going into the Leagues Cup final, I thought the scales were tilted way more towards Seattle than people were giving credence to, because they had to do that.
Yeah.
And they had the exact same results. So like that is how it goes sometimes to an extent.
Well, and it's also to say, like, Inter Miami was playing for everything. They are literally playing for everything right now. Like they need to.
They're playing for Messi to stay on the team.
Yeah, that, and also, like, you know, it's a get back game for them. The Sounders, it's not a get back game for them. It's a fuck. We got to play in Fort Lauderdale right now. Anyway, like, I know that Brian Schmetzer would never admit that. I know that the players would probably never say that, but it is a mental thing, and the travel is a mental thing, and it does affect you. So yeah, you've got to reset. Go spank Austin. Go absolutely spank them.
They do that.
I mean,
if they do that,
that's a
that
trash ass team. They better spank them.
They're a little better than they were, but it's at home. Is it on the road? It's on the road.
It's on the road.
It's on the road. That's honestly not like it's a given that you're going to smash them. They've been playing a lot better.
That's true. This next one here is from Jake. Jake says, it's a setup for MLS Cup final. We're going to get another rematch of MLS Cup final. Well, if it is, then the Sounders better start getting some points so they can play this game at home.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. There's not really like there's not space in the standings to be able to withstand a hangover and keep a top 4 spot because of all the other points you've already dropped this year. So really, like, I mean, if this team doesn't make an MLS Cup run this year, it's gonna be about way more other games than this game. Like I could name like 4 or 5 games where they could have taken at least 1 point or all 3 points and then dropped it for a tie. Like
the Galaxy game is worse than this game to me.
Oh yeah,
like
far and
like
away.
I know that,
far and away, not even close.
I think that this goes like I even said it before, like when we started, like this is probably the worst I've seen them play this season. Like I think they played terribly, but it's not the most offensive game to me. Like that Galaxy game is more offensive to me because of who like just everything about it. Like being at home, dropping points from being ahead. Like it's just that's so much more offensive than flying down to Miami and getting, you know, shit on after short rest with Messi. You know, like that's what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Should we drop the call link in or
yeah, let's do it.
How are you
I'm
feeling?
getting hungry, chat. So let's make these calls
if anyone
quick.
wants to sick, drop the call link in if you want to come on the show, drop some takes, cope, rationalize, etc. Noah's gonna drop it in right now. But yeah, overall, not the rematch that the Seattle Sounders would have hoped for, but also like you're saying, not the most shocking thing of all time. What did you think of Fry? There was some discourse going around on this as well.
Yeah,
like it started after the first goal, and to me, like your goalkeeper is 1-on-1 with the greatest attacking fullback of all time. Like the issue is the giveaway that leads to that situation, no matter what happens with the goalkeeper. Like that's how I feel.
It can be bad goalkeeping and also a bad giveaway, and like you just don't want to put your defense or goalkeeper in that position. I don't know. I think it was an up and down game for Fry. I don't really have anything to say about. I literally don't know what to say about it because it's just straight up like up and down. Like there were lows. He looked like shit on some of those goals, and there
He also
was some
stuffed
awesome
Messi
saves.
twice.
Yeah, and exactly. It's like I think I don't know who posted it, but someone said like they posted 2 photos, and it was the Argentina goalkeeper and the Onana, and the first thing was like Fry trying to make an easy save, and it was a picture of Onana, and then it was like Fry making the highest level of difficulty save, and it's like the Argentina goalkeeper who's really good. I can't remember his name, but whoever tweeted that or posted that, I think it was Letty. That was a good bit. I kind of agree with that. But Kenny's here.
Let's get Kenny on the show.
You ready?
First caller of the night.
Kenny's ready. What up, Kenny?
What up, Kenny? 3-1 at Inter Miami. How are you feeling? Crash up or crash out?
I don't think that's a thing. Crash out.
Didn't we
I'm
coin
fine,
that?
guys. It's 2 revenge games, and we've still outscored these guys. What? 8-2. LA Galaxy. We've outscored them aggregate, and then it's 4-3 aggregate on Miami, plus a cup on their head. Obed got his goal, so I mean, I guess he's good enough to leave MLS now.
It looked like they squashed that. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah,
like
I think
they were chatting at halftime, and Obed put his arm around him, and it looked like they were yucking it up. And I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that are like, "See, that proves that he didn't say that." Whatever. I think that proves that he did say that, and that what it looked like to me is that Messi was like, "What? It's all whatever, man. I didn't mean it. Like, you're a baller. I'm a fan."
And apparently,
Obed was like, "Don't worry about it." Like, that's what I thought happened.
This
And then
isn't
Obed after the
confirmed.
said, "What is said stays on the field."
This isn't confirmed, but apparently knew who gave his jersey to Messi. So
yeah,
Messi
I think that's what I was gonna say.
I think I saw that.
The lion.
That's pretty fire. That
the
the
lion
said,
and the
you know
goat."
what? I don't even want your kit. I just want to give you mine so you remember me.
He didn't even get his.
I don't know. I don't think
What a
he
legend.
did.
I saw them. They were having some kind of interaction post game. But I couldn't see if there was.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
To Snyder B, dude. Snyder B locked him down. Snyder B should
Yeah,
have gotten the
let's
Messi
hit
kit.
some highs and lows. Let's hit some highs and lows.
You hit it. You drive. You drive, Kenny.
Yeah, you're on Snyder B. Yep, he led the game in tackles. He had 4 tackles in his cameo. He was the tied second highest rated sounder with Georgie Manungu. Obed Vargas was the highest. These are all per Fought Mob. Take it with a grain of salt. Not always the most angry, but decent with MLS stuff. Obed Vargas, he was really cooking in that second half, like you said. Once Christian was out, I don't know if it had to do with Christian, but they were. I mean, we're dead in the water. Someone's got to take it by the scruff of the neck. Might as well be the 20-year-old Alaskan, Mexican, the Alaskan Messi.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of built for moments like these.
The Alaskan Griezmann.
Yeah.
He's tough. Georgie, I thought he was similarly putting the game on his back, putting the whole team on his back. Taking his guy on, that's what he's going to do. The heat wasn't bothering him. I thought Osaze wasn't backing him up enough. It was some of those runs and using his body well in these harsh conditions. It takes that experience, I think, to be a striker in these kind of conditions, short rest, to know how to use your body through all that heat and save yourself because you got somebody coming on for you. Jesus. He was running, but with Osaze out there, I think what was really effective in the League's Cup was Jesus at times was triggering the press. He was triggering the press from that mid block. In this game, we were sat so deep, we were pinned so far back, and our line was up. So it was a very narrow block that they had to play through, and they were off running. They didn't have Suarez up top dragging them down as an anchor. They didn't have the anchor up there. Let's go. Paul Rothrock, possibly the worst half of his entire Sounders career. Possibly a couple giveaways, especially the one for the second goal. But we've seen Georgie give away that exact same ball and get scored on earlier in this season from that right wing position. So I think that right wing is still pretty much up for grabs.
What do you think about
Jesus maybe, but he was playing centrally today. When he has to play central, who's gonna step up out there? I think Rothrock's tired too. He might be third most minutes on this team.
What do you think about on that side? KKR, obviously, Alex Roldan was missed tonight, it felt like.
What I like about Nuhu and Alex Roldan is they have a certain level of steel. Like Alex, he kind of can get caught napping at the back post or caught upfield. Nuhu can crash out, can do some scary dribbling, but
Double foot tackle in the air, you know.
backflips. We can go on and on. But our backup fullbacks have been kind of it's just those rookie moments. They need a little bit more sand in their pants, you know, to use a American football expression. You know, they need to get their weight up. Get their weight up just a little bit. KKR, he's got great athleticism and balance, especially when he's on the ball. And then he was on the other side of Christian for the first goal, right? He was coming in from the left of Christian, little square pass in his own half. Christian gets kind of bullied off the ball. He's so tired, you know. But they had people swarming. You can't. That's a hospital ball, you know, to borrow another American football phrase, you know. It's a hospital ball to him. So I didn't think KKR had a great game in this one, but he's come through for us before, so I can understand Brian wanting to bring that energy, but it just needs a little bit more better decision making and a little bit more intelligence. Yamar had to put up with a lot coming down that right side, and Kim didn't cover himself in glory either.
I thought he played worse than Yamar.
Kim got stepped on and had to come off the field, and they got one of their goals.
Yeah,
they got one of their goals when Seattle was down him in because they were waiting for him to get let back on the field. That was frustrating. Right. I'm not like
dude broke his hand and he's like, let me come back. And then they're like, no, you can't.
Yeah, because there's like the 2-minute rule or
no, that
whatever.
was the third goal.
But I'm not super aggrieved about that because Seattle got pretty lucky to not concede a couple other times in this game. They gave Messi the ball like for wide ass open chances twice.
Yeah,
and he put one off the post and Fry saved the other. Like if you do that now and then going back to the Leagues Cup final, he missed a wide open one in that. They got 3 misses out of Messi that he doesn't miss those.
Yeah.
Like so they got
5 big chances in this one. So
they were giving up.
Me,
they gave up too many big chances to be aggrieved that 3 of them counted, even though it was kind of annoying that it's like they wouldn't let Kim back on the field for the corner kick. And then of course they score on it. Of course they score on it. You already knew it was going to happen when the guy was lining up over it.
Osaze dunked on there. Is that what happened? Osaze had to step up and wasn't able to.
I think it was Nehru who got mossed on that. Was it not?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
These things will come to light in the highlights.
What does Brian say? He's like, I'll watch the film and get back to you.
We'll watch the film on that one, Jada. But the guys, they came out there, they were good. They had an effort that was good. The fans are good.
Jordan Morris has an assist.
Oh yeah, Jordan Morris, welcome back, big guy.
Jordan Morris, Albert Rusnak combined to set up a goal. That was great to see. That was great.
Yeah. Let's just get Pedro back in the fold. What's going on with him? We need to.
We haven't even talked about that.
I keep hearing tendonitis, but what's going on with this cat? You know,
I don't know, but
Craig Weibel flew down there to make best friends. They were butt buddies, not butt buddies, but they were best buddies down there.
I'm kind of worried about that. Like he just doesn't play in the last game, doesn't even make the trip. They've been talking about tendonitis.
He's the one that gets rest. He's the one that needs rest. He should have been playing. He should have been healthy, playing central. Allow Ferreira out on the right.
It's concerning. I mean,
Georgie played pretty well at that spot, but it's still you want to have De La Vega, much more. He's been blazing hot, much more polished. Like
one other thing I forgot to say, Paul Rothrock, he had a pretty good chance. Look on goal with his pressing through the heat. I think he might have known he was coming off because he's on a lot of minutes, so they probably planned to take him off. That was probably a planned sub. But he was also having a stinker. But I think on that chance, I could have been wrong, but because I haven't seen the highlights, but it looked like he could have rolled it to the back post, and Ferreira would have had a tap in. I think
the one that Rothrock had to save.
Yeah,
The
one
one
that
he
got
got
saved.
smothered. Yeah, he got smothered at the
He was
end of
kind
the
of
first half.
leaning back on his side when he took that shot. I saw that too. I think he probably would have wanted to get it there, but I think that he probably wouldn't have been able to, even if he tried.
The pitch was kind of shitty, wasn't it, guys?
Looked bad.
Hey, Frank McDonald, famous Sounders historian, was saying on Twitter that on that very same grounds in, I think, 1982, Brian Schmetzer played against Fort Lauderdale Strikers.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
that's a
You
fun
guys should
fact.
get Frank on here. You should try and get Frank on here. Legends of
That's a good
Washington
shout.
history.
I've interviewed him before for like written stories, but haven't had him on Lobbing Scorchers.
Keep it goes.
I'll try and line that up.
All right, you guys got anybody else?
Yeah, we got
Yeah, we got a couple in the queue, but
We're hungry. We're hungry. Bye, guys.
Bye, Kenny.
later, Kenny. Thanks for calling.
I'm hungry. I'm fading. It's only 7
Get
o'clock. Oh my
GBT
God.
in here. Get Caleb in here. Let's
All
let
right,
the people-
GBT. You ready? Let's go. What up? How we
What's up?
feeling?
GBT.
Crash
How you
out,
doing, man?
crash up.
Crash out, crash up. How you doing? 3-1 L at
I'm
Inter Miami.
scared. I'm very scared because we need home field advantage to do anything in MLS Cup, and we have proven that in the past we would have beaten LA Galaxy to get to the final, and then we would have hosted that, and we would have won MLS Cup last year if we did a little bit better in the regular season. I think we can take away 3 things from this game. Stephen Fry had a shocker on the second goal. Andrew Thomas would have saved that. Georgie Manungu needs to start every single game because he was the one player that was the most threatening. He was even more threatening than Messi. I mean, you saw that as well every time he had the ball. And the third is we can't keep starting Vargas and Christian Roldan. They need rest. They're looking tired. They need some rest, you know? But overall, it's a game that we can take a lot of things from and learn and move on, but it's a really, really messed up result that feels like it could have been a lot better.
I thought it was a good game for your Georgie agenda. Like I really felt like in a first half that was among the most poor halves they played all season. He was the only like notable bright spot. So that was good to see. But yeah, I mean,
feel like
what you're saying about home
now.
field advantage is real. Like if they don't get that, then that's bad news. And if they keep dropping points, I like Noah and I were talking about, the Galaxy game is the tilting one in this situation, because if you just hold on to that and take all 3 there, this matters a little less. But like because you drop those points, this is like makes it even dicier.
I feel like Osaze had so many chances again that he should have had and put in the back of the net. I feel like Osaze could have ended the night with 2 or 3 goals, maybe 2. There were 2 very clear-cut chances. I like the guy. There's nothing I don't like about him except for how he plays. You know, he should have scored so many more goals this season for the chances that he's got. I just feel like we are struggling without Morris up top. Unless Danny Musovski comes up big, you know, it's more of a clinicality issue than anything else up front because we're creating the chances, but we just don't have the talent without Morris to put them all away that we should have. Like back when Rui Diaz was playing. If we had Rui Diaz now, he would have like 30 goals a season, I swear. With the amount of chances our strikers are getting, but it's just another big issue that we need to solve, you know.
I mean, prime Rui Diaz would have, but not the last 2 seasons. Rui Diaz, he was not very good.
No, prime Rui Diaz. I mean, yeah. He's
Jordan's coming back. What did you think of the goal, the Obed goal?
I'm very happy with Morris because he's a really good build-up player as well. That's something that you don't get with Osaze completely, and you especially don't get that with Danny Musovski. Obed Vargas just does what he does, you know, always is in the right position at the right time in the right areas, playing the perfect passes. And again, he's been a thorn in the side, especially in the second half of Inter Miami, and they were getting a little bit frustrated when he was on the ball. I feel like Snyder Brunel needs to start a bit more because he is sort of like a second Obed Vargas. But I'm very, very happy with how Vargas played in the second half. The first half was fucking abysmal. It was just, oh my God. I don't know. We couldn't get on the ball, and when we did, we just gave it away. The stupidest little things that
To
we shouldn't
Lionel
be doing.
Messi
Yeah, they're
in a
like,
couple
"Hey, Messi, would you like the ball?
Would you
I'd
like the
love to
ball?
pass it to you if
Here
I
you go.
can."
Do you want
And you know what's
a
crazy?
one-on-one with our goalkeeper? Take it.
He's washed. Messi's washed. How he should have had 3 or 4. He's
Yeah.
so bad. He's literally. I would put him as one of the worst players on the field for Miami. For Miami, at least.
I think
I
you're
don't know.
cooking
Ian
there.
Frey exists, and Noah Allen also exists.
It's just
so-
it's just like you really don't see him miss these. It's just weird, honestly. Like I thought he kind of, yeah. I mean, he has 19 goals, 10 assists this year now, or so. So he looked like a player that that's been
slowing down.
tearing up the league, but
Slowing down a bit though.
you just don't see him put that one off the post ever. You don't see him miss, like get that other one against Fry saved ever. It's interesting.
Last thing I want to say is I've always thought Jordi Alba has been a better signing than Messi, because he's been able to score 10 goals a season, assist most of Messi's goals, and Miami just look terrible without him. He's the engine. It should have been Busquets who was the engine for this team, but it really seems like Jordi Alba brings it all together, and he's the real issue that we need to start taking in consideration if we face them again in the final, if we make it that far in MLS Cup, which a lot of people still think we will, but I don't know without home field advantage.
Yeah, it can be easy to overlook that one of the Barca boys is the literal greatest attacking fullback to ever play the game. And you kind of saw that in this game, the assist that Jordi Alba got on Messi's goal. I mean, that was a class assist. I can't really say much about that.
100%. I have to go, but have an absolutely wonderful stream. I love you guys so much.
Thanks, Trav. Appreciate you, man.
All right. We got one super chat and then we'll hit Caleb. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Pay Obed. We will take this money and we'll put it in our own pockets and we will lobby.
Every super chat will go to Obed's contract extension.
No, every super chat will go to our pockets, which we will lobby the Sounders to sign him on a contract. We're lobbyists. That's our job. We lobbied the Sounders to play Paul Rothrock. It worked. We'll lobby them to do this other thing. And we got one more super chat. Let's just do this and then we'll get Caleb. I'm sorry. Techno Gatsby says midseason trophies are weird. Teams seems flat on defense and disinterested at times. Christian looks dog tired. I worry about a Leagues Cup hangover.
Yeah, I mean that's hangover watch is real. That's what we're on right now. We are on hangover watch, and they have a chance to dispel that if they can just get back to looking how they looked during Leagues Cup during Leagues Cup and since Club World Cup. But until then, when you drop points at home against LA Galaxy, lose 3-1 in your next match, hangover watch.
All right, Caleb, you ready to go? Give us a thumbs up. Sweet. Welcome to the stage, Caleb.
Caleb tapping in with the archive kit from Singapore.
Oh yeah, I
What's
got this
up,
at the LA game last week.
Ooh,
hell yeah!
Yeah.
3-1 L at Inter Miami. How are you feeling? What'd you think?
Dude, it was frustrating, man. We couldn't pass well. Like our team, let's not give it away. They're gonna they'll make some weird lunge, or I don't know. It felt like sometimes there was like no communication, or maybe they're just confused. I don't know.
It did feel like they were a step off, especially in the midfield.
Yeah.
Like
There's a few looks where they were like, it looked like they weren't in sync, or they weren't sure what was happening.
Yeah, it's.
I was there. I was there live.
So you were in Miami.
We were, yeah. Me and my dad went.
Sounders. Shout out. Wow.
Coming all the way from
How
Singapore
was the atmosphere then? We'll ask you about the atmosphere. Was it hot and sticky?
No. It was very hot. Wearing the scarf was hot. It was sweaty. But it was really quiet. The Miami fans were quiet, man. It was weird.
That is odd.
Especially the second half. Second half was mostly dead. Just their fans cheering. Then you see our ECS fans. I think our ECS fans were louder. But it was weird. It was a weird game because Lumen Field last on Saturday, way louder, way
Yeah.
more energy. And the team we were playing against, I mean, gave a good fight too. But yeah, I think we should have buried this away. I think Osaze should have had. I think maybe League's Cup got in his head a little bit. Maybe potentially, I don't know, but like I don't know. It could have been. I don't know what went wrong. I maybe want to rest Moose and want to keep him fresh because I mean it is a tough little fixture for us, right? With Austin, uh, but yeah, Morris looked good when he came on though. That little like thing to Vargas, um, first Vargas goal that wasn't a deflection, I think, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. So
Yeah,
I
the
was
season at least. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. But I wish we could have scored more. Like it felt good. Like after that, like we came. I think Schmetzer gave a good talk. Like we looked a total different team. It's the second half. I don't know about what you guys felt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that was, when you're chasing a game like that, sometimes the other
Yeah,
team is more willing to just absorb pressure. And then this Inter Miami
yeah,
team, they're definitely you can get after them in that way. So I think they did a good job of that. But I always kind of hesitate to give too much credit for that in a situation
mm,
where you're
yeah,
pressing because you're down 3-0 or
yeah,
3-1.
yeah.
But I mean, I
That's
think it
fair.
is fair to say that the the attack looked a lot better in the second half. There was a lot less really bad
Yeah,
giveaways in the second half, and they did get a goal. And Rusnak and Jordan Morris were part of that goal. So
yeah,
I think you do have to acknowledge that as well.
yeah. That one that Rothrock barely missed before the half ended. The first half was awesome. But dude, I stood up on my seat. I thought he scored, and then
Oh,
it was embarrassing. All the Miami fans were all looking at me. But yeah, I don't know. It was a weird game. It was a weird
yeah.
game.
I
It
mean,
was a
that's what
weird
it's a
game.
Tuesday. It's a
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Yeah, why are we
What are
and
we
doing
it
this
was
on a
talking on a
Tuesday?
Tuesday?
yeah,
What is this? The
and
U.S.
like
Open Cup? We don't play in that.
tiring for them too.
Yeah.
Like you come to Miami on Sunday, you have Monday. I don't know what they must be tired too.
I can't even imagine the
Yeah.
travel setup. That sounds pretty exhausting
I
personally.
came to Miami today and I'm beat up. I can barely imagine how they do it. Like what in the world?
Yeah. No joke. Well,
Yeah.
final thoughts here, Caleb. Anything else you want to add?
Uh I hope that Andrew Thomas gets some more games this year. I really hope he does. I think he earned I think he earned some more room in the roster discussion.
No, I
I don't know.
agree.
No, like shame to like Stephen Fry. I thought he still had some good saves today. Um, I think maybe I don't know. Maybe we could mix it up a little bit. But I know Schmetz said he only wants to pick one, so I don't know. But
I
that's
don't
my
envy Brian Schmetzer.
yeah. He has so many choices. It's wow. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy season.
No
It's a good
joke.
season to be a Sounders fan.
All right, Caleb. Thanks so much for calling in, man.
Yeah.
We will talk to you next week. All right. Ari, we don't have anyone else in the queue, and I wanted to eat a burrito. Or what are we thinking here? Do we think we just chalk this one off?
I'm down to chalk a little early. When
Perfect.
it's an emphatic dub, I think we have an obligation to stay on for 2 hours. But 3-1 at Inter Miami on a Tuesday, I don't think we have that obligation.
No, I agree. We did
I'm
5
double
hours
dutying as
after
well
Leagues
anyway.
Cup
So
against Inter Miami. We don't need to do any more.
okay, let's do hunch. Let's do hunch, and then we'll call
Okay,
it.
I'm gonna give you hunch because I just ordered food and it's gonna get here, so
All
I'm
right, I
gonna
got
eat
you.
it. But hunch. Wait, I'll stay for the first part because I love hunch. All right, ready? Hunch.
Hey, you guys got
Hello.
me?
We got
Welcome.
you, hunch. How's
Hey,
it going, man?
not bad, not bad. Um, so I'll just say that my takeaway from this is nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah, that's
th-
valid.
I mean, short rest, highly rotated, 3,000 miles away in humid heat, for a team you've already beat, and it's not going to be nearly to the level that you just played them for a cup. You know, I don't take anything from this. I don't learn anything from this, and I don't worry about this at all. Not even a little bit. The thing
You're
that
not worried at all about a prospective
Nope.
hangover? That's my only worry.
No, that this game has no bearing on that. Zero.
Explain your rationale.
The LA game combined with the Austin game, that is your analysis. And if we had gotten a better result against the LA game, we would not be talking about this Miami game. It'd be ideal to have gotten something. But LA going to a tie in the way that it did makes this game somehow feel relevant. But it's not.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's not. The subs, I mean, okay. Well, I'm taking nothing from this in terms of I'm not evaluating my team. I'm not worried about this, that, or the other. I'm not worried about effort to some degree. Once they scored that goal and we had fresh legs, I mean, literally, you just lean on Miami at that point and you get that second one, then they're really going to collapse. Because as was pointed out ad nauseum, they had no other subs. Like, they had nobody. But I just don't know if we had the stamina, even with the new folks or the fresh folks. I don't know. I did question not the subs that came on, but who went off. That felt weird. It felt like Christian should have been one of the ones off. Like, and I maybe you start Snyder and you bring Christian on late in the second half.
That's my only gripe. I feel like Snyder should have started this game. I really feel like that.
And no shade against Snyder. I have no doubts in him, but I don't have any belief, or let's say I don't have any trust yet either. Like it's gonna take more.
See, I'm on a different page. I already trust him. Like honestly, tonight reinforced the trust that I have in him, because I figured, like, all right, he didn't start this game because it's probably too soon in his career to put him in a situation like that. But I thought once he got out there, I would not have been able to tell that he's an 18-year-old playing in like his third or fourth MLS game. I thought he looked like actively good, not just not screwing up. Like he was positively contributing to their push for a goal that could have put them in position to get a result.
Again, I don't have any doubts in him. I just haven't built any trust with him. And if we go back to the thing that I've brought up a few times, if we're making evaluations based on 2 games, let's talk about Ryan Kent's first 2 games. Let's talk about Pedro de la Vega's first 2 games. Like it's not there yet. That's all I'm saying. It's cool to jest.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's also to not put that much pressure on him to have to somehow now have a standard of his own to live up to. Like, not that he can't, but it's early. Like, let's get him in there. That's fine.
I refuse to learn my lesson from the Ryan Kent thing, Hunch. I formulate conclusions off 2 game samples. That's why I do.
No, Pedro de la Vega, like the first 2 games last year, it's like we didn't know what we had, and then he was immediately out, and it's like, well, we're only going off those 2 games. We don't know what we got. So all I'm saying is, it's just he is not limited by anything, but by the same time, we don't need to add constraints to him other than just support. Like, he's got to earn the trust. Let's see it happen. That's all. I thought, man, I would have started. Well, this tells me they're starting Musovski on Sunday, which is not surprising. But I think I would have pulled Osaze at half, or done a double swap, or done a swap where Moose starts and Osaze comes on in the second half. He had a presence, but he didn't seem connected in terms of even getting back at times. And I don't know what that was about. I know Schmetzer is big on playing defense for everybody. He didn't seem fully bought into that in this game. So I don't know. I like the guy.
I think that is another thing you could question, I guess, about the lineup. Schmetzer said that he started Osaze because he felt like he earned the chance to build on what he did in League's Cup. But like, Moose is such like a more known commodity at this point. I almost feel like you could argue his reliability compared to Osaze, who's still, like, he's been playing great, but he's not as established as Moose has been this season. Moose, that presence that Moose could give, you could argue that he should have been started in this situation.
Yeah, you can't on one hand say, like, oh no, we had to play Christian because we had to get points in this match.
Yeah,
and then
that felt weird.
And then you don't play your
leading goal
scorer.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the same thing. It's like, what? How much are we really trying?
Like, if you're not gonna start Snyder B because he's not ready for this situation, Osaze is more experienced than Snyder B, but not like that
By
much.
like 4
honestly.
games.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of not following that logic that he was saying.
Maybe Osaze would have thought of it differently if he didn't get the start. But even if he did feel like a little like he was chipped by not getting a start, maybe a little agitated Osaze coming on in the second half could have been a good thing. Entering the game as opposed to starting the game. Like he's already got experience with this team, and if he's a little pissed off about the fact that he didn't get the start, I'm signing me up for that. I'd like to see how he would do against them. Bring some energy to the field. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think the double pivot fear that Brian Schmetzer has right now is just like it's their biggest weakness.
I think if we had won against LA, you would have seen a lineup tonight that like rivaled that Austin game like 4 years ago or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that's who would have been on the field, and I think that would have been fine.
Like they maybe should have just done that anyway.
I kind of wonder, but I think they felt the pressure to get a result. But here's the thing: if you aren't going to commit to getting a result, meaning doing everything you can to get at least a point, what's the point in half-assing it? Going 90% doesn't get it done, but you expend resources doing that, which could affect your next game. So it's like, I get you. I mean, that's what these coaches have to do. They got to weigh these things, but I mean, if you're going to half-ass it, maybe quarter-ass it, like pull it back even further, not to just like give them a green light, but you know what I'm saying? Give guys some rest. And you could have, not to stir the pot on this, you could have sent Andrew instead of Fry and not have him to make the trip. And I don't know if that would have been good or bad, or if that would have made things worse. But I mean, Brian said that he was going to make a decision, so maybe that's why he had to, stick to it. Even though this is, a one-off 6,000 miles there and back kind of trip. But I'll tell you who I am done with, and I've been his fan for a while, or had been.
Done with?
I'm done. I'm done. I've said it a few times now, and he needs to be sold. He needs to be sold at the end of the season, and that is Nuhu. I'm over it. I'm over it because there are things he is prioritizing his offense over everything else. And I've seen the pattern repeat, and you can watch this. He will kind of half dribble up, and he'll have the left winger or a midfielder sliding over up to him. And as opposed to play them through or make the long pass up there and then run up to try and participate, he will half dribble up there so that they're close enough to them, and then he passes it to him and then tries to run by and be like, oh, put me through. And he won't. Georgie's over there just like salivating, trying to like kill them on that left wing, and he would not spring Georgie a number of times. He would dribble up, or he even dribbled to the center circle once, a couple times. It's just like I don't think he's got the right priorities. I don't know, in terms of eyes are set on goal, and I don't have a problem with him playing offense, but I don't have a problem with him being up there, but he can't be the focal point. Like I don't know. I don't feel like he's helping the left winger, whoever it's in front of him.
The only thing I got tilted at Nuhu about was when he kept Messi on side for just the most wide open breakaway of Messi's career, which he somehow put off the post. I guess he had to juke a couple guys, but it still ended in a wide open opportunity. But I can't remember how much time he had to react, but that was just like, how do you guys let Messi get that opportunity? That's crazy.
Well, he kept who was the other person that scored? Was it Jordi Alba?
Jordi Alba scored the first one.
Yeah, Nuhu kept him on side during that run as well. He was the furthest back on that basically blooper over the top that allowed the run on. And like they even showed it. It's like, oh yeah, he's done because Nuhu's over there 5 feet back from any other defender. So like I said, I just don't the liability. Like I like the guy, he makes some miraculous plays, but it's because he has to, because he leaves things exposed and like has to dive in. And you get started with red cards. Again, I don't dislike him. I want somebody who's supporting that left winger more. And I mean, you could see it with Reed Baker. Like we have a comparison.
It's a pro RBW agenda, not an anti-Nuhu agenda.
Well, Nuhu's good and he's got value. Let's get something for that. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know. I don't take anything from this game. I don't worry about it as a coaching. I just put it aside. It sounds like they're only going to have like one practice before they're back on the road again. Are they flying back tonight?
I'm not
Probably.
sure. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's already 11 p.m. there, 10 p.m. Like, are they going to get? Is there an East Coast red eye they're going to push them on?
I feel like that is how they usually do it. They usually try and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. They usually try and charter them back same day.
So then they're not at the facility Wednesday. They're going to be traveling what, Saturday again? So that gives them Thursday and Friday.
Sometimes they travel a couple days early.
Okay. Well, then somebody made reference that they only have one practice. It was in that press conference, I think. They're only going to have one practice between now and Austin. So not a lot to course correct off Miami, but again, I wouldn't take anything from it. I would just put it aside and normal prep. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not worried about this. It would be nice to get some points, but I wasn't fretting. I would have brought the trophy and had it on the sideline. Maybe put some ice in it. For the Gatorade, some water bottles.
Right. That would be a good bit.
He would have the trainers go out, like when they're bringing out like the water bottles.
Just carry the trophy out with
you. With the ice and water there. Anybody?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad you guys did the show, of course. But yeah, I don't take anything from this. LA, I'm more disappointed in, and that I think they just got it caught. That was the first game back, right?
The LA game, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so knock the rust off, get refocused. Everybody's been gone a week. Christian's had no break. Like, again, I'm going to compare LA and Austin and then whatever that subsequent game is. And if they get a tie in Austin and you compare that to a tie in LA and then maybe a win after that or a tie after that, I mean, it is what it is. Chances are the LAFC is going to pass us. They just are.
That's sort of how I feel right now too, and that's a concern. Like that chalks home field advantage if that happens.
So then it needs to be not about LAFC. It needs to be catching who's in front of us, Vancouver,
Minnesota, or Vancouver and Minnesota.
So it needs to be about catching them and not so much worried about LAFC.
Yeah, it's tough though. You're 7 points back of them right now.
Yeah, but
and
don't
they
we
have
have
a game
like
in
two
hand.
games in hand? I thought we had
no.
two
Vancouver has a game in hand on Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fret. I'm happy if we make the playoffs. Home field's nice. We were one game away from MLS Cup on the road last year, based on one goal, based at the very end. So, yeah,
true. All right. Well, we got Vinny in the queue behind you, Hunch. So I can know if you want to go eat your burrito. I can.
Thank you.
I can do Vinny's call, and then I'm probably going to call it a night after that. I'm covering Can Champ, so I got to tend to that as well. But Hunch, thank you for calling in as always. Appreciate you, man. Noah already took you off the screen.
Sorry, I'm pressing buttons.
We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, you got this. I love you, chat. I'm so sleepy and need a burrito.
Enjoy your burrito, Noah. Good stream. All right, we're gonna get Vinny's call in here, and then we're gonna call it a night. So no one else call in. No one else call in. If anyone else calls in, I'm gonna not take the call, unfortunately. Sorry. But we went an hour and a half, so I feel like that's a pretty good shift. All right, bringing Vinny to the stage right now. He does not have a video going, but I think he's here. Vinny, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. 3-1 at Inter Miami. How are you feeling? What's on your mind?
It's not the best feeling in the world, but still nice to know that we still beat them in Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
But I feel like this might have been the end of the road for Fry's career. Because
for his career?
Well, not probably. He's getting old now. He's been in the Sounders for a long time, and he's had a great career with us. But I feel like Andrew Thomas is about to take over for his position because he proved himself out the entire Leagues Cup. And when Open Cup comes around, or CONCACAF, I feel like Schmetzer might play in both of those tournaments and see how he does. And that he might take over next season. Just like Jordan Morris. Because he just got back from injury and he's had tons of injuries in his career, but he's still a great player. But De Rosario now has been playing amazing and might take over his position too.
You're thinking Osaze as the future, and Andrew Thomas taking over this year. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to become the veterans, Stephen Fry and Jordan Morris now, because they've been on the team for a long time. I'm pretty sure they've been here for both cups, MLS Cups, and they're just great players overall. And I don't think that we should get rid of them just yet, because they're still great players and they could be there if we need them, like in another cup final.
Yeah, that makes sense. Was there anything in? Did you feel like the goals that they gave up tonight were especially on the goalkeeper, or is it just more of a general feeling than related to this game?
As a goalkeeper myself, when Messi scored his goal, Stephen Fry, in my perspective, should have been on the ground ready to have the ball fall right into his hands or his chest, because where the ball was placed and where he was, I feel that the defender should have probably done a better job of getting in front of Messi so he didn't have a chance to hit the ball and then Stephen Fry could pick it up. But it looks like he dragged his foot on the ground and like stopped him from the net cam replay. But yeah.
How are you feeling about the potential of a hangover? That's kind of what we've been talking about, and I don't think you can fully say it off 2 games, but I think for me, I was watching this game tonight, and I was a little concerned that we could be looking at that type of situation. Hunch said he's not worried about that, but I'm a little worried about that. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's hard to tell right now, but Vancouver. Oh, well, not Vancouver. That would be a hard one to play. But Austin, if we fall to them, then that might be a big problem.
Yeah,
I can still see it since we are playing 3 games in like a week.
Yeah, and I mean that is I thought that was a home game for some reason, but they already played Austin at home. That's a road game. That's not an easy road trip either, man. Like, it'll be like a test of if the depth we've seen this year can kind of keep playing at the level that it's been playing at. But that level, that energy and that intensity that we got so used to watching since Club World Cup and during Leagues Cup, this I felt like there was that kind of was still there, at least in attack in the Galaxy game at home. It really wasn't there in this game, but I don't know if that's just because it was a really long road trip and on short rest and stuff, or if it's part of a larger issue. I guess that's what we're going to find out in the next couple weeks here.
I just hope that we can go on our streak again of playing the good games that we can do, because we are a good team, and we have been. And even though we lost to Miami because he has 4 players, that they only have a 4-player team, doesn't mean that we're still not the rulers of MLS.
I love that. I think that's a good place to call it, Vinny. I'm going to take off for the night, but thanks for calling in. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right?
You enjoy.
Take care. All right, chat, that's going to do it for your boy tonight. I'm going to get out of here. Got some stuff to do to close out the night, but thank you all, as always, for tuning in. If you haven't yet, please like the video, sub to the channel, like, comment, rate 5 stars, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll be back at it on Thursday for Under the Lights, 7:30. Don't miss out on that. We'll be talking a little bit more probably about this game, but also looking at the Austin game more in depth. And yeah, it's going to be good stuff. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. I know it wasn't as glamorous a post game show. We've been pretty spoiled lately, you know. When you do shows after every single game during the season, like we do, you got to do all kinds of different types of results. You're going to have to do a few L's, and we've been lucky lately. We haven't had to do that many L's, but you know, take L's sometimes. Take L's, and you still have to do the post game live. So appreciate you guys hanging out in spite of the unfortunate result tonight. And I'll catch you all 7:30 on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Some people come to Lumen Field for the tactics, for the soccer, the atmosphere, and some come for Paul Rothrock's hair. Me personally, I come for both, because I have agendas to push. Live soccer isn't just better, it's way more personal. From making friends to becoming the guy in your section that's just constantly yelling about advanced statistics. Get tickets to any Sounders match by visiting lobbingscorchers.com/tickets. You support the pod, our agendas, the vibes, and the chaos.